something like a big deal. I get chicken bust still in my life real.
Talk about one of the most pressing issues right now.
Something like a big deal.
Now, and that's what exactly happened this summer with KD going to Golden State. And now we have a completely, different narrative and rivalry between OKC and Golden State Warriors. And so my question to the fellas is, how did you feel when you heard that KD, defected? That's the word I'm gonna use. Defected and went over, to his rivals. Like, what was your reaction? Like, you congratulated him, you was happy for him, you was disappointed. What was your?
Nah, let's go.
I ain't give two shits. It really didn't matter to me because he chasing the championship. So that's the underlying goal right here.
Something like a big deal.
Right.
It's all loyalty and everything like
Loyalty
that.
didn't matter.
It don't matter nothing because he don't owe OKC nothing. They drafted him. He did his time there. He's a free agent. It's time for him to go. He played where he wanted to go, and he wanted to win the championship. I do not care.
You don't care that it was a team that he could have gone to the game 7 with.
Yeah, they whipped his ass. And
They beat him up. They got him.
And so what?
Yeah, but I'm saying you can't leave a team. I mean, they're a rival. That's like
Something like a big deal.
if Patrick Ewing was to go to Chicago.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You can't do that. I'm not saying you can't do that. Yes, he was a
You see, this is the thing you're holding on to. You're holding on to your father's league. This ain't your father's league anymore. When Jordan was doing it, when Jordan had his super team, nobody knew it was a super team. He had Scotty, he had Tony Kukoc, he had Dennis Rodman, he had Ron Harper. Those were super teams, but nobody called it that. It was just Jordan doing it himself.
Yeah,
when Patrick Ewing was over there struggling for all them years by himself, he was happy. So now, what's going on? Kevin Durant is going doing it by himself. And he can't wait. Now some loyalty.
Yeah,
He wants to win. How many years ago is he here not win?
Yeah, but at the
he
same
wants
time,
to win.
you gotta think about it.
He wants to win.
You just lost to that team 3-1.
And
you was like 8 minutes away. You was 8 minutes away from
And
going to the finals.
And
You was 8 minutes. And you 8 minutes away from going to the finals. And you don't go to the team that beat you. And you don't leave another superstar.
And before that,
you don't leave him for another superstar.
So what? Do you know what
It wasn't about a superstar. He left him for the team.
Exactly.
It wasn't about it was for the team. And you gotta remember.
Something like a big deal.
You forgot. Remember, they was at the finals before.
Exactly.
They was at the finals. And they had him with Ibaka. And they had.
Yeah, but they were still young.
But they still had
He's
Ibaka.
lost.
It doesn't
And
matter.
then
It's not working.
They lost.
It's
man.
not working.
They had Ibaka and they had Harden.
What is
And
this
you had
working?
Westbrook. And they still.
Yeah, but Harden wasn't.
He was still. Yo,
Harden
listen,
was
he was
busy.
getting busy.
Harden was
He's
busy.
not.
Yeah,
But
but
he
he
didn't
didn't
peak
peak
yet.
yet.
What do you think KD saw about OKC that he didn't like?
They beat me.
That's it?
They beat me. We're better. They're better.
He didn't think that.
If I can't beat them, Jordan.
Yo, they had a collapse. They almost
If we
beat
can't
them.
beat them,
They
Jordan.
almost beat them. What? They only had
They
2
didn't have a
games.
class. If they would have went to the finals,
Remember-
they would have lost to Cleveland.
Remember, they started. They beat them what, 3-1?
If they
4-1.
Right?
It would have been 4-1.
Yeah.
It would have been 4-1. They collapsed. So
Okay.
they were dominant.
Okay, but if they would have went to the finals, do you think they would have beat Cleveland in the finals?
Never.
Okay.
Kevin Durant.
He's not beating.
Kevin Durant will never beat LeBron James ever.
Okay.
Ever.
That's a whole different
Ever.
topic.
That's a whole different
That's a whole
topic.
different topic.
That's a whole different topic. And on
Yeah.
top of that, like you said, if they would have went to the finals, they wouldn't have beat Cleveland. Now, with Golden State, it's a strong possibility that they could beat the Cavs. OKC is not beating Westbrook and Durant. They're not beating Cleveland.
Right.
They're not beating Cleveland.
All right, but hold on.
They're not beating them.
All right, y'all talk about the money. Y'all talk about winning championships. What about where does loyalty to the friendship? Because no.
Who told you? Listen, I can still be your friend and call and talk to you, and we don't gotta work at the same
So
time.
why do you think that KD would take him under his wing and do the press conferences together? He would always shield him. He's a ball hog. He would always defend him. He would always hide him under his
Because
wing.
I got a 5-year contract here, and it ain't up yet.
There's nothing wrong with that.
I gotta talk good.
But they have not spoken since. Since he made the decision, he didn't even tell him where he was going.
That shows
He
you how
didn't
deep
call
the
him, let
friendship
him know. That's a lot of bad
You
luck.
don't know what happened after they lost. We don't know. We don't know what happened after they lost that game 7. Who
I don't
knows?
know what happened in that
We
locker
don't know.
room.
We don't know what happened in that locker room. We don't know. We don't know.
It's a whole different
It
dynamic.
could be something they could have fought. We don't know. We don't know. They
He
could have
could've
said
said
some
something.
words. It could have been,
Didn't he
whatever.
He made that comment that said it feels more like what he said. It said it feels more like a team over here, or it feels more like it's free flowing or something.
Free-flowing,
Yeah, he said made that comment. So
For real?
who's taking a shot at? The
Wow.
guy who has the balls in
Yeah,
the
but
middle.
so that justify him going to the rival that beat him? You going to a rivalry. You know what I'm saying? You just lost him.
It's not a rivalry.
Yes,
It's
it
not a
is, man. They had a
rivalry.
Who's
wasn't a
forgetting the
rivalry.
narrative, man? Everybody's
It's
going
not a
away from the
rivalry.
narrative. So
It
why would you
was
go
never a rivalry
back?
because OKC never beat Golden State in the playoffs. So it's not a rivalry. Now when you go 1 year they might beat them. If OKC beat them 1 year, then the next year Golden State beat them, then that's a rivalry. You
If
know
I
what I'm
see you
saying?
for 3 years straight,
3 years straight.
that's a rivalry.
It's not a
If I see you
rivalry.
for 1 year and you beat me, then that's
not
it.
a
The year
rivalry.
before that, they didn't see each other.
But there are like little subtle rivalries within that whole competitive thing. I mean, you have Russell Westbrook versus Stephen Curry. You have Stephen Curry, whose star is like shining bright so quick. You got all these guys who've been paying their
What you
quite
call
a
is
lot.
more of a
What's
rivalry.
that?
Clippers against Golden State is more of a rivalry.
Yeah, that is true. Because they've seen them for at least like the
When
last 2
Clippers
years.
bumped Golden State, and Golden State bumped them before, right? They got bad blood. Like that's more of a rivalry.
Houston went to the
Houston,
final.
exactly.
What's it called?
I think OKC is going to win, against Golden State. I think, Russell Westbrook's going to come inside the arena. He's going to be more intense. He's mad at what happened because KD left. And, he's going to go off. And I think they're going to come out with a dub.
Go off with who?
Huh?
With who? They don't have anybody. They're a talented group. I saw them
They
against
won one game.
who they played the other night.
They played the Sixers.
They played the Sixers.
Okay,
But Sixers was giving them a money for.
Sixers,
Whoa.
but listen, trust me. Westbrook might drop 50 on them that night. Watch.
Yeah, and that's what.
Westbrook's going to get a
But
guaranteed
will they win?
Anthony Davis
Yeah,
had the
but
same
it's
thing the other
Golden
night.
State.
Will they win? 50, 40, he got dropped 70.
Listen,
That's not gonna translate to a W, man.
Listen,
That's
the way
what we want.
And they have no bench.
Oh,
Golden State.
the way Golden State played the other night, it looked like every.
But I think the anger of Russell Westbrook is something they're gonna have to deal with. He's angry.
Yeah, he's definitely.
You know what I'm saying? He don't care about his hair no more. He cut off his mohawk. His hair is I mean he don't brush it. No, seriously. I'm looking at stuff like body language and different things, and the fact that a guy who's a fashionista of a fashion store, you know what I'm saying, who really care about the way he looked and the way he came out opening night, you could tell like he really doesn't care right now, and he's gonna be like that for the rest of the year. And especially when he see that boy up in Oakland, it's gonna be something. It's gonna be something. Watch, you're gonna see it. It's gonna be something.
but will they win? That's the thing. You can have 50, you can have 40.
Something like a big deal.
40, you can have 60. But that's not gonna translate to who's gonna help them, and that's not gonna translate to a win, man. That isolation ball, that doesn't win games, man. That's it. Like, who else is gonna score? Besides Westbrook.
Oladipo is
And who else?
And Shorty, the other point guard.
Robinson.
And who else?
Robinson, that's his name, last name?
Huh?
The other point guard?
The other guy they got from
Only way, I'm gonna tell you like
Right.
this.
The stretch 10-3s the other night.
Oh, yeah, he good, yeah.
Yeah.
Only way OKC is gonna win if they expose Golden State's bench and they big men. If OKC's big man plays whoever it's Cantor, whether it's who's the other kid, Adams. If they play like great, if Adams gets like 15 rebounds or 4 blocks and Cantor got at least 20, if they don't have strong games, they're not gonna win. Point blank period.
Listen, that's it.
And that's a fact.
Where they're strong at is where Golden State is weak at. The big men is where Golden State is weak at.
Yeah.
And if they do what they have to do, the big men do what they have to do, they're gonna win the game. But that's it. They gotta play D and the big men gotta go.
Yeah.
So do you trust Cantor to give you 20 and 12?
I mean,
do you trust?
He could grab 4. I mean, he's more like
No,
grab
Cantor's an
14.
offensive rebounding guy, so that's where he makes his bread and butter. Cantor,
Right.
he's an offensive rebounding guy, so that's where he makes his bread and butter. So if he gets that going over some short guys, over Pachulia and Kevin Durant, Kevin Durant who averages he averages less than 10 rebounds a game, and this is your power forward.
Yeah.
Against Zaja, Javon McGee, who else is that dude? And the only guy that's really gonna be going against is Draymond. Draymond Green. That's probably gonna be the only guy that's really gonna be battling for rebound. Again, this is the same way Cleveland killed them. They had no way, man. Once Bogut got injured, it was a whole different game. They was going to the
Yeah,
basket.
because Bogut was just a body.
He
He,
was a body.
he filled up space.
Yeah, so now.
But they did not upgrade in defense, man. They did not.
I'm something like a big deal. I get chicken, but still in my life real. I'm something like a big deal.